You doing?
Not much.
Not much. Just sitting there looking beautiful.
Yeah, as always.
For sure, baby. That's what we like to see. Mr. Clean, ladies and gentlemen. Roxy. So, yeah, Mr. Clean, that's a crazy one. Let me to be a little more specific. This is what I'm talking about is F1 grid talk. So, I've been eating a lot more since I moved here. So, I've been here for 2 weeks and been eating a lot more consistently and doing all this. And so I got like a little layer of chub on me in 2 weeks. And it's all good and dandy, but then I busted out 70 sit-ups the other day with my nephew. And I didn't do sit-ups for a long time. Like, I'm talking months. Like, I haven't sat down and really done sit-ups. And my nephew did sit-ups. And he was like, oh, count for me how many sit-ups I'm doing. And then I was like, I'll do some right now. I'll hit 100 on you right now. Just like, because that's my nephew. I'm trying to train to be like a mentor. So I have to, you didn't expect me to do that. Like, I was like, I'll do it right fucking now. You got me fucked up because you got to hold yourself to a standard. If you're going to expect something from someone, you have to be at a level. Like, that's how I feel. It's like you can't just talk the talk. You got to walk that shit. So I jumped on the ground and did 70 sit-ups, needless to say. And next thing you know, and then I was jogging and doing running because I was drinking one night and I was just like running. And saw all this good stuff and my abdomen just got shredded. So the next person we have is SWRMJWV.
It's Eric.
Hey.
Eric Green.
Oh, big Eric Green in the building, baby. Welcome, Eric Green, big pimpin'
They
Eric
blocked
Green.
me again. They blocked me again, Rico.
Oh shit, man, they're always fuck the bullshitting. And the next person we have on is the Dushan, the beautiful Dushan, the illustrious Dushan.
Thank you, Rico. Thanks for having me on, my friend. Good to see you
again. Great to have you on as always, and great to hear from you. I was just talking about how my body is going through a shell shock because. Oh yes, I understand. Eric Green, fuck them niggas, nigga. Eric Green is not number one. Everyone, let's give a big round of applause to Eric Green. They count Eric Green one time. Eric, motherfucking man, bitch. Yes. So yeah, Eric Green, that's a big love for you, buddy. So how about that? So yeah, I just continue rambling for a moment. So with this whole, my body, I've been here for 2 weeks, so 14 days, and I've gained, I would say, at least 10 pounds, which I wanted to gain something because I was really fucking skinny. But now I could turn that into all muscle. But I gained like a nice little fluff, and I think my gut got a little messed up because then I just did 70 sit-ups, and then my belly button was just like, I think I tore the skin that holds the belly button together. You know, that skin that holds the belly button. I think I shredded, like almost ripped my belly button internally is what it felt like. That shit was just burning in my core.
You can't overdo it.
But it's getting better. Yeah, I over fucking did it basically in my dumbass and shit. I was laughing at myself like, wow. For like just, it's getting better by the moment, but this is like the last couple of days was really sore. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
I sit around
too much. I thought I shredded it.
Yeah, I sit around too much, and when I go to the store, my legs feel heavy. I walk to the store or something, my legs just start feeling heavy all of a sudden because I'm sitting around too much.
That's a bad one. Circulation in the legs. You got to make sure you massage the inner leg and behind your legs, like the back of your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I actually don't wear socks because of circulation.
Oh, I get that around
underwear. I don't wear underwear or socks because every layer you add on, in theory, could be in just a compression and cutting off circulation.
Right.
And I really think that's a big mistake that people don't look at. So the next person we have on has the biggest dick that side of the Mississippi. Welcome, UKDANSPJ. Lovely. Do I have it? Oh, no, I'm giving my sister
Oh,
her lighter
that's
here.
me. I'm SWRNJ. That's Eric Green.
Oh, yes, 10-4.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I got banned for saying a Jesus joke.
Well, can we hear the Jesus joke?
Yeah, I said Jesus wept. I said I know why he wept because he was trying to get some from Jezebel. And Jezebel turned him down. Peter
All right.
tried and got his head chopped off.
And what was that?
Peter tried also and got his head chopped off.
Peter tried also and got his head chopped off.
That was amazing. Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing the
Yeah, they're
Jesus
not
joke.
understanding the way I joke around, I guess.
Okay, yeah, we had an echo because of UK
Yeah.
Dan, but he's out of here.
All right. They're not understanding the way I joke around, so they just instead of trying to talk to you, they go ahead and ban you. You know how they are.
It's a hell of a joke. Shame on their taste.
Yeah, I mean they got he did get mad. I mean he did wept, but everybody don't really know why he wept though.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, he wasn't crazy. He knew what was going on.
No, I said Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, Jesus was fucking Christ probably.
Yeah, he was crazy. They're gonna laugh at him back then. They'll laugh at him right now. You know.
That's so funny. Well, thank you for calling in, brother, and thank you for
Yeah,
sitting
no
in love
problem.
and support, man. I'm just out here doing just like I said, organizing.
Right.
Making Jesus jokes. I look at Jesus, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I look at the concept of Jesus and I have multiple views.
Right. So do I.
I do that, yeah, like a paradoxical outlook in the realm of conceptualized things like that. So
yeah, people don't see it the same way, and it's sad. It's sad because he was talking about
agnostic.
being
Yeah, I'm definitely agnostic as fuck, but I don't mind joking around about it. I think it's
I try to
crazy
joke
the
around.
Muhammad shit.
It's bad taste sometimes.
Well, no, like I don't know if you remember hearing about in the news that this guy drew Muhammad, the guy from Quran, and they had him assassinated.
Oh wow!
So that like triggered, yeah, like that's how they were like no one could even turn like that's how they were trying to put that shit like on the sacred cow in a sense. I think that's a right analogy there, where it's like something that cannot be joked about, like the shit that's like you can't even. It's like that was so that's just the
crazy.
anti.
That's crazy.
It is, but then you know what happened? They ended up triggering a big old thing where in Texas they had this contest that was the Jesus fucking Christ contest, where it's like people got together and were like, who could draw the best? Or no, that was the last thing I was talking about. I'm talking about the Quran thing. Oh yeah, so the contest was to draw Muhammad contest because they got mad and killed somebody for drawing him. They were like, oh, we're gonna have a competition. And then they had a competition, and some guy came, some Muslim guy, and went to shoot up the place, but they ended up killing him. Like the shooter that came to the assailant got laid out like by the contestants of the contest of the draw contest because they were in Texas, bro. That motherfucker got laid out, dude.
Wow, they take everything so seriously when it's really not. That Jesus wasn't trying to be serious. He was trying to get people to understand. They don't even understand what's going on with everything. You know, with the Bible.
So you can imagine. Like I don't know how much you know about Muhammad, but if you think about it, that's like their Jesus.
Right.
They don't want no one joking about it.
Muhammad was like their
if you were over there
Jesus.
and you said a Jesus joke, but like their version of him, they would kill you.
They'll chop your head off probably.
So fucking consider that, man. Consider that right now you're just getting banned, but one day you might die for that opinion.
Yeah, well, people don't understand what you're really talking about, and it's like it's sad.
You think Jesus would rise up to that level of power ever again, or do you think that like as time goes on, the Christians are like they had their glory days?
He had that power. Jesus had that power back then, but he knew that he had to die. He knew that after Nicodemus, and then him turning up the tables and chairs in the church. He knew he had to die. He knew it was his time. You know, Jesus already knew because what he would try to teach other people be in the third eye, and nobody didn't see what he was talking about. your third eye, your chakras and everything. He's telling people about that. That's what most of the stories are about anyway. And people don't really see what it's talking about.
What's the third eye? What is that?
The planeo gland. Where Joe said he met God, he seen God, and he met him at this place called Planeo. And he called Planeo. The planeo gland. That's what the planeo gland is, the third eye.
The pineal gland, the pineal gland.
Yeah.
I used to call it pineal. I don't know much about it. I know that there's a lot of lore about it. I think it's pretty awesome. The concept.
Oh yeah, mine is open. Mine is open.
I've definitely had mine open, but I don't know if I have it open constantly, just because I'm a man who's like dealing with my own shit. But I've had it open, and it's a crazy thing.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like when mine opened up, I got into an accident, and it almost took me out. And then the angels came right after that and started messing with me and stuff like that. They were telling me I should be more responsible with my life. And
oh yeah, man, that's not bad advice.
Yeah, so they opened up they opened up my third eye. And what happened was a lot of light came out my eye, started going all over the room. It was crazy. It was crazy feeling. If you don't know what's going on, it'll trip you out. This happened to me a couple of years ago.
I can only imagine. I'm not even getting to my shit right now just because I don't want to ramble.
It happened a couple of years ago.
Sometime.
Yeah. It happened a couple of years ago to me, and it was like, I still remember it like it was yesterday. And it made me,
it's always really nice to hold on to those.
Yeah.
I always get sad if I feel like I don't remember or something like that, like that feeling I used to have, or like a memory that I had stored up in with like a power, like when you're rolling on some really good Molly or MDMA or ecstasy, like, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture of this moment and bottle this feeling because it's just so euphoric. And it's like over time, those feelings, like sometimes you haven't thought about it in so long or haven't pulled back to it. You're like, do I really remember it, or am I just forcing myself to believe I remember it just because?
I remember stuff in past
so
life.
It's nice because to keep them when you get to keep them. Like I say, enjoy that. Like,
yeah, I remember stuff in past life.
I wonder if you hold it for a lifetime. That feeling, like that memory.
You can hold it for a lifetime and a lifetime after.
It's funny which thoughts you hold on to, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's thoughts like regrets or something fucked up you did.
Right.
Like, oh, that'd have been nice if those would went away, but like.
Yeah.
So, but the ones you're like, should probably hold on to, then
in your next life, you're like, I don't want to do the same thing I did the previous life, so I'm not going that way. That's what you end up doing.
Or maybe unless you're just a glutton for punishment, which is possible.
Right.
Because some people are fucking.
I was walking around like that.
Some people need the pain, baby.
Myself. Right.
Oh yeah, like skateboarders, and you got extreme sports. Like all those people, they know they could get murked if they mess up. Like,
right. Why do they keep on doing the same thing? They know they're gonna get hurt.
Dude, they want that shit. They want that possibility, baby. I fuck with that concept too. Cause like living life in a safe zone. I think that's almost like just as bad as someone who threw away their life, because
I try to make sense. Like, why do people do that kind of stuff? Why do they just jump out of airplanes why do they jump out of airplanes for? Why do they jump off of why do they bungee cord jump for? Why do they do these crazy things for when they know they're
BMX bikers and like motocross.
Right.
They love the pain, bro, because that shit hurts. Even if you do it right, it hurts. Right. Like even when they land those tricks, that shit fucked their body up.
You're not going to see black people doing that kind of stuff. You don't see black people going chasing storms and.
Dude, I've seen, you don't know about Terry Kennedy? Terry Kennedy is an amazing skateboarder, bro. He's a black dude.
He's a black dude.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, skin shades are interesting. There's just, I didn't mean to say there, but skin shades, just to us, black people are how they are. But like in other countries, like if you go to Spain and all over the world and all these, like people, the black people are athletic as fuck and do it, skateboard and everything. They're not as hood. The hood black man is more of an American thing.
Right.
Just dark. In other countries, they're not black. They're just dark.
Yeah, well, I'm dark, like me, I'm dark skinned, but I'm from Chinese. I'm from Taiwan. I'm a black Chinaman.
Yeah, dude, you look black as hell.
And people don't understand that. They take it the wrong way. You know what I mean? They always took me the wrong way.
Well, you probably took yourself the wrong way.
No. I would get disrespected by Chinese people, and then I would get disrespected by black people.
Oh, that the
Yeah,
whole
on
Mulan
both
thing.
sides of the court, I would just get.
The mutt, you were a mutt.
No, I'm not a mutt. I'm a black Chinese man.
No, that's what they treat you like
Yeah,
because
that's
you're
what they
not good
treat me
enough.
like. Yeah, they treat me like I'm a mutt, and it's like
Exactly. I didn't say you were a mutt. I
on
was
both
just saying
sides.
that's the
Right,
concept.
on both sides. So I understand how it feels, but it's like they don't show no
I think
respect.
everybody, even if
They
you're
don't show
one
no
color,
respect.
because like I'm Mexican and shit, but
Yeah,
I don't feel like almost you could say I'm like a Chinaman because I'm not a fucking like Spanish like typical
you're like a
Mexican where I
Puerto
speak
Rican,
like.
like a Puerto Rican Mexican.
No, I'm just like
No,
my mind doesn't see like I never looked at myself as a Mexican. I always just saw myself as a being,
right.
but I have brown skin, so I'm like But when I go around Mexicans, they're like, this guy, he's not fucking one of us. And then when I go around like intellectuals, let's say
Right.
white or black, they just think I'm a Mexican, but really I'm just a body, a being in
I'm just a soul. I'm just a being. Exactly. They don't
Yeah,
look
the
at it like
body is
that.
really, it is part of my soul, but it's
Uh-huh.
really not the whole picture.
Right. Right. Like I said, I get treated on both sides of the court. They just disrespect me. Both. They'll say like the Chinese people will be like, "Ooh, I don't want to be by him," or they'll say
Well, yeah, that
something.
must suck, especially if
Yeah.
you're one of those people that
Yeah.
really need that
I tell them I'm
validation
from
from your
China.
race.
They look at me like, ugh, I don't know. Yeah.
Do you pull hella hoes or what?
Huh?
Have you pulled hoes in your life? Have you had a good life?
Yeah. I used to get a lot of girls in my life, I guess.
So, I mean, yeah, because I
Right
mean,
now,
it's that part of your life is shitty. The whole fact that you're never going to be good enough. Well,
what
then scrap that.
right now, I'm not going out as much as I used to because of COVID. So
No, but your
I
mind
just
is it
got
still
over
at that
COVID.
level where you could do it if you wanted to,
Yeah,
like you
I
haven't
could
lost
do
it.
it. I could do it, but I just don't have the,
Yeah, because
have the,
I don't really know do shit either.
yeah,
Like I know
it gets
I'm a
old.
fucking
It gets
mess
old
still.
after a while. And I don't want to
But
go
yeah,
out
no,
there. I
like
don't want to go
I
out
take it
there.
in waves, man.
Yeah, I
I go
get it when
wild
it
with it. And
comes.
if it's quiet, I don't mind the quiet years.
Right. But I did get a lot of girls when I was younger, but now it's like I'm not getting nothing. It's like,
I could jump right back in though. That's my thing. It's like I'm a dolphin dived out the
yeah,
pool, but I
you at
could
the
dive
age you
back in.
can. Yeah, I'm 50 years old, so it's kind of hard for me.
I'm 30, so
Yeah.
I'm getting
When I
into.
was 30, I
Now I'm
was
starting to really
already.
understand what endurance is. Because when you're 20, you're still
Oh,
all full, and then like,
yeah. Oh,
now that
yeah.
I'm getting 30, it's like, ooh,
Oh, yeah.
like can I do another round, another 10 years strong, or do I slow down? Like it's like I'm starting to learn is a human entity like a long life one,
Right.
like with a concept of longevity.
Right. Yeah, you
So
still
that's
got life.
interesting,
You
man. I
still
feel
got
like
life
I'm
in you.
still pretty good.
When you get like 50
Not to
years old,
brag.
it's a whole change of things. It's like, damn, I'm 50
Oh,
years
but yeah,
old.
no, I'm no specimen. Like,
You
I'm
know?
not a top tier trained athlete. I wish, but I'm definitely slacking in a lot of areas. But if I really would get my shit together, man, I'd be a monster.
Yeah, me too. I would. I mean, I still got the shape. Like I still got a good body shape and everything, but I can't just get up and go like I used to. I don't have that
And
ambition no
your
more.
joints starting to give out on you, or what? Your
Yeah,
grip
they
strength? You
started to
losing
get
your grip
out. They
strength?
tried to give out on me. So my shins hurt. My
Man, you
back
better
of my
start doing some
legs are
yoga, bro.
heavy. You know.
Some Pilates.
Yeah, I need to do something because I need to get up
Man, I don't know.
out.
There's this guy. His name on Instagram is Knees Over Toes guy.
Yeah.
And this is
Oh
guy
wow.
who's like has devised this method of body workout, and it's apparently the bee's knees, man.
Mm.
It could turn you into a monster,
Right.
and anybody who does it, it's just they're clearly more better than anybody else. And it's this thing where it's starting to catch on, and it's something about like the way they work out. They're activating the muscles that barely any workouts do,
It sounds
but
like
they're the
Total
ones that
Gym.
are.
It sounds like Total Gym a little bit.
It kind of, but this is the new latest. This
Right.
is recent. What I'm talking about. This is science that's breaking like just as this winter is happening. And so I would look into that if I were you, because this guy is talking about if you could be late in life, like 50, and if you start doing this workout,
Start
like you
working
could
out.
be with this specific knees over toes guy, the method that he is selling,
Right.
this whole thing where it's like it's about to be like hit the waves, but he's just getting it patented it out and everything because it's just a certain workout. Like he wants to patent the kind because it's like for some reason they haven't really brought it to the light. Because as time people are learning, they do this and it affects you. Well, he has this method apparently where they work out pulling sleds, pushing sleds. And apparently it activates the muscle, which if you strengthen that, your whole body just gets ripped up and heals and realigns and does all this. And they have, and they're older dudes and they look young, better than they did when they were young. Like the guy's 40 something, like 40 something, like late 40s. And he's like with one hand dunking on basketballs with his legs doing the splits, like full 6-pack cut. And it's like just beast moding like over everybody. And it's like, he's getting about to be 50, and he's like beast moding on everybody because of this method.
Right.
So I would look into that because I think you can revive it, man. You can either decay or you can regenerate. That's how I believe.
Yeah, that's why I got to do something. It's my blood type too. I think my blood type. I'm AB. I'm AB positive, AB negative blood type. I'm the yin and the yang. I have a blood type
that sounds like, see, I don't even think about that because that's disempowering, bro. Like, you just gotta tell yourself whatever blood type you are, you got golden blood.
Yeah, I got the Jesus. I got the Jesus blood.
Whatever blood you got, but don't let the world make you a fear because that's what they want. That the world wants you to, in my opinion, they want you to feel like, oh, these odds are against me. But really, like you said earlier, I don't know, my sister said, I think, the potential is crazy. People, even if you're fucked up, like the human potential is actually kind of insane if you think about it.
But people in general, like if I'm around people, it gets me tired, dude. They just drain. They just suck the energy out of me. If I'm around a lot of people, because of my blood type, I heal. I have a rare blood type that heals from everything.
I didn't know that affected that.
Yeah, and it's like okay, you see a dog, okay, a dog you get two dogs. One is a daddy dog, and one is like at my job. I have two dogs, and one of the dogs came over. One of the dogs came back from another yard. He tried to move in, and it's a father and son dog. They got the same gene. Boy, they got into a fight. You couldn't even pull them away. Their blood type. They had the same blood, so they clash. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's something I don't really consider much as the blood types. Maybe I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It'd probably be good to know if that actually affect. But it's almost like out of sight, out of mind, where if you don't know it, it don't gonna hurt you until you know it, and then all of a sudden it affects you. It's like just being a kid almost, where it's like, oh, you haven't learned, you haven't got burned by the fire yet, so you have yet to really. To you, fire is not a burnable thing, and you don't understand the concept. I haven't let myself conceptualize a lot of human weakness ever since I was little. I'm let myself. I study human sociology, psychology, biology, metaphysiology, phenomenology, all that.
Right.
But what I don't focus on is weakening things that are like cancers. Decay, but I mean longevity I do look at, but as far as the inner chatter in my mind, like, oh, I think this could be a possibility, or oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not saying I don't have those thoughts, but I'm quick to silence those because those are the ones that
more toxic.
Those are like, so to say blood, the reason I never think that like is because imagine if I were to tell myself, oh, I have this blood type that's shit. What is that really gonna do to my overall, but like hope and my pep?
No, but they fashion the pandemic, with the shot and everything. They fashioned the shot after my blood type, because it does heal from everything.
See, that sounds like some bull crap, man. Like if I was your blood type, I have no idea what my blood type is, which I'm not too happy about saying that because I wish I was a little more on top of my stuff.
Right.
But like I said,
it heals from everything. It heals from everything. I mean, I can heal from everything, like AIDS.
Oh yeah, I'm a pretty amazing healer. It's a random question, but what's your birth sign?
Pisces this month.
I wonder if that had anything
My
to do with it.
birthday is
Astrology.
borderline.
Everyone's like, woo.
Borderline. Well, I'm borderline Pisces and Aquarius. Mine is on the 21st.
Yeah, see, I even considered a little bit of astrology.
Yeah.
In there just in case. But
right. But
I don't know what I really that's where the difference is. I don't spend my time but I do want to get into that as time goes on, learn about like the actual details. But I definitely also have a mix from the birth that was talent, some sort of talent, like a regenerative talent, a healing talent, versus someone who has no talent. It's like, fuck, they get murked right away.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying I'm indestructible, but I'm not the most fragile being, which is nice. That's always nice.
I'm indestructible.
Because you're indestructible at nice.
Yeah. Is that big life? It's kind of like.
Is that big motherfucking life?
Yeah. And another thing is too. I came from a family. I came from a family that was like part of the 13 ruling families. I don't know if you know about that.
Go on.
I'm from the 13 ruling families, right? And my mom passed away. My mom passed away, and I was adopted. They gave me up for adoption, I guess.
Stop that noise, bro.
I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry about that. It's some scam on my phone, I guess.
Yeah, turn that off.
I don't know how to turn it off.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hold on. I don't know why they're calling me this time of night. Anyway, let me see. Hold on a second.
We'll give him a second. We'll give him a second.
I got it.
All right, folks. This is your man, Rico Roxx. I'm sitting here with Eric Green, and we're having a hell of a talk here.
I got it.
We're getting really into it. So thank you for listening to Rico Roxx Social Suicide. Continue, bro.
All right. Well, I grew up. I was adopted. I came from one of the 13 ruling families, right? And I was the last male in my family. I have an uncle still alive.
You say 13 ruling family?
Yeah, I come from
it's a ruling family?
Ruling family, yeah. I come from the ruling family.
What's a ruling family for those who don't know?
Illuminati. They're Illuminati.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I have no idea. You're so kind of open that up. I understand. So you're part of a 13th ruling family?
13 ruling family, like the Rothschilds, all of them. I come from the chain.
So 13? How many families are there?
Like 13.
Oh, so, okay. I'm getting my mind.
I'm finding out too that I'm from this family. I'm finding this out too, that I'm part of this family.
All right.
And I guess my grandfather died like when I was 20 years before I was born, and they're billionaires. They had a lot of money, right? And so
how do you feel about that? What were we talking about before that? How did we get into that?
I was telling you about my blood type. I was telling you about my blood type and everything.
Does the blood type have anything to do with the family thing?
Yeah. It has something to do with the family thing because it all.
So tell me all about this, please.
Right, it all ties in with each other. Like how me and you was talking the other day about the blood types. Now, I'm AB positive, AB negative blood type, and that's a rare blood type in the world. I have both the A positive and I had the B negative. So I'm complete. That's like
So what does that help? What does that bring? What's the benefits of that?
The benefits of that is that I heal from every sickness. I'm pure blood. I'm pure blood.
What up, herbalist? You're pure blood, so tell me about that if you don't mind. Do you mind talking about being pure blood? Like, has anyone ever approached you about it and talked to you about it? No,
I'm just finding this out for myself right now. I can't. My family.
How do you feel like it? Do you feel like that's a great, beautiful thing to find out, or do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like that's a great thing because I came from like family that was like Aborigines. I came from like in Taiwan. I came from the Aborigines in Taiwan. The people that was there first. I was there first before, the white people came around.
So, you know what I mean? The white people going to Taiwan is a new thing. I love Taiwan, by the way.
Oh, do you?
Taiwan is the country that
China
was trying to...
Yeah.
Isn't that the country that China was trying to expunge?
Yeah, they were trying, Yep, and Taiwan said, I'll fight back.
Because just in case Taiwan gets vaporized off the map,
they won't.
Just in case... I love collecting. One of the weird random things that I collect, which is a random Rico Roxx fun fact, is things made from Taiwan. I
Oh
love
wow.
things made from Taiwan
Oh wow.
because Taiwan they might go away.
Right. I was made in
Trying
Taiwan.
Hey, wow, that's amazing. So, do you feel like what I'm saying is out of the picture, or do you think that
No.
a man could plausibly say that Taiwan could go down?
No, Taiwan can't go down because Taiwan has all the technology. Taiwan is superly,
Right.
they superly got all
So
the
that's why I'm
technology.
collecting shit made in Taiwan because pretty soon they're not going to even that stamp is going to go away maybe. So that means that anything that's made from Taiwan is going to be a rare collector's item.
Yeah.
So that's my little niche that I'm into.
Right. No, Taiwan is
I
fight.
love shit made in Taiwan.
Taiwan's a republic. They're not gonna go down. America's gonna.
No, but I'm just saying, just in case China goes nuts.
Oh no, America
because
back them up.
Well, even like I'm just saying, just in case, bro,
Right.
because I know that China's crazy as fuck, bro.
Right.
And Taiwan, it was crazy when I found out that you couldn't even say the word Taiwan in China. They were like, that's bad news for Taiwan.
Right.
They're erasing them from the history books. That's not a good sign. When you're getting erased from the history books, that's when they're about to come ice you.
I want to go over there and fight with them. This is how bad I want to go.
I don't blame you.
I want to go fight with them because they're fighting for something. They know what they're fighting for. They actually know what they're fighting for.
It's gonna pop off. You think America would defend them, but
America's going to defend them. America will. They're
what
allies.
if America has to defend itself? Like, what if right when Taiwan's going down, they drop the ball
on America
and they drop the ball in Cuba? Like, what if they go for everything at once?
America's sticking up for Ukraine right now. So it's not
There's so many places right now that are ready to blow. You talk about so many moves that could happen, like a power exchange. It could be one big. What could be happening is they could be doing a trade, like a continent power trade throughout the nations, the leaders, and this is how it looks to us as
it's a distraction.
Cattle human.
Yeah,
it looks like elections and it looks like politics, but what it really could be is simply just people moving their pieces, and it just is a weird process.
That's what it is.
Because
that's what
it really feels like, man, and it's interesting as hell.
See.
So what does the 13 families have to do with that concept of the
because
power?
Because the 13 families, they want to stay in control. They run the banks and everything. They don't want. Are they
in any danger of falling? Do you think? As you know, how we're talking about Taiwan could go because just as the world is in the are the families at risk?
No, Taiwan would go because there's too much coming out of Taiwan. They'll be stupid. They'll be stupid to try to take Taiwan out.
I don't know, man. I feel like they might keep the name, but I think maybe not even because I think China took over, and now I'm just speculating, and this is no facts. But I believe, what I like to think, is that China actually has Vietnam, like where Vietnam is. That's technically under China's control,
right.
But they didn't name it China. Because if they did that, people would know.
Yeah.
They kept the country, you know what I'm saying? But I think that some countries have actually been taken over.
Hello. Hello.
What up, UK Dan? Do you think that countries have been taken over by other countries and they just didn't change the name, so they're trying to be sneaky, but really is the regime's changed?
They're trying to be sneaky, and what's going on is like
so China already has Taiwan. No. China already has India almost.
Right. Russia and China. They're going after these countries, and so what Trump did when he came in office.
Like Japan, China owns Japan.
What Trump did when he went into office, he went to go talk to all these countries, right? How you doing? There?
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
So we have a UK Dan. We're getting into some crazy talk right here. We were talking about blood types, and I think it's interesting because you are reaching a point in your life where you either could decide you're going to slow down or you're going to keep the battle continuing, go back to
I have to balance it.
I'm a big fan of Taiwan, bro.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Taiwan.
I collect shit made from Taiwan. It's my favorite shit.
I want to go back. I grew up. I was born there. I want to go back home soon.
So much things are made in Taiwan too. It's crazy if you actually look around. So if China does take out Taiwan, those people, they must do something right because they have great quality products.
So. Well, they have products that will break down, but but it's cheap products, and you could buy it again. You could buy it at
I
a good
guess.
price. It's most of it.
He said they're not the. I don't know. I'm just a fan.
Right.
Ever
I
since
just
I
like a
found
lot
out
of
that
stuff.
China
Yeah, I
didn't
like a
like
lot of stuff
Taiwan,
that
I'm
they
like,
do
I'm
in
gonna collect shit from Taiwan because now it's like they'll hate my ass because it's like because they're gonna try to say like erase Taiwan from history,
Oh, they
and then so
couldn't.
every item is like almost like a war
I
crime.
won't let them
As
do
someone who's
it.
well, me neither is my
I
goal
won't
because
let
I'm
them
gonna
do it.
because
I'll
that's one
go
way
over there
of
and
saying
fight
fuck
with
you
them.
to the man.
Yeah.
Like when they're trying to say Taiwan, what do you mean Taiwan? There's no such thing. I'll be like, what do you call this?
Right.
Because they're gonna
Right.
try to
Oh, it's
erase
made in
Taiwan out of the
Taiwan.
history
It's a
books.
good product.
Yeah, like
A
I'm
lot of
gonna
this
have
stuff is
stamps. I'll be
good.
like, this is
Nice.
a country that they took away,
Right.
and then this is proof.
Right. A lot of the stuff that you get, they last for a long time, and they don't make it expensive, and it's
Well,
pretty
in
good
history,
quality.
there's been moments where they do erase people out of history. You ever think
Yeah.
about that?
Oh,
Like burn books and
they erased two people out. They already erased two races out of the picture already. They know better.
you talking about human races,
Yeah,
like human races?
there's two races that have been erased already.
What do you
And the
mean? Tell me
Catholics,
about
they
that.
know
Like,
better.
I don't,
The Catholics are racist.
damn, that's crazy.
The Catholics are
So what
racist.
are these other races? You're talking about like Neanderthals and humans and like
No,
like kind of
they're
thing?
human races. They're human races, but
There's like
just
a
because
different
they didn't
color. Were they
believe,
black or
just because they didn't want to believe, there were
like
races.
Hebrew and shit?
There were two races that they erased just because
Like
they
some
didn't
Jewish,
believe
like a
in
Jewish kind of thing?
Christianity. They didn't believe in Christianity or anything. They just erased them.
Dang, do you think that's what the Holocaust was about? Like it wasn't about Jews, it was about some other race that actually did get wiped out and they kind of just threw the Jews on it just as a history change. But really it was like a sub race
Right,
and
right.
they
It could have
succeeded.
been sort of to that effect.
Cause
He
they
didn't
could have
want
succeeded
he
in that.
didn't
They could have been
Stalin.
a whole thing. The end of the
Yeah,
war could have
he
been
wouldn't
just.
want the Jews around.
You got to think about that. That was
Yeah.
crazy time. Like they tell us that the war ended and we stopped, and America stopped, the Germans and all this. But what if it just was an experiment that okay, we finished, we can clean up the lab and tools now.
I was like
Close
I
shop.
was like an experiment. I was like an experiment, but I was an experiment as far as
Because do you think that it was something tied into the fact that you have this rare blood, you're part of a 13 family? Did that make
yeah.
is that
I was an experiment. I was an experiment. But I wasn't like
you were you're Taiwan?
but I wasn't like an I was like an experiment, but I wasn't like a
I
tube
don't know what you
experiment. I
mean
was
by that.
I
Like, what
wasn't
do you,
like
can
a
you do?
I was like a real experiment. I'm like the grandfather.
In what way?
Like
Like a baby? Is a baby
as
or is a teen?
as a baby, like I was a real experiment.
What kind of experiment?
Like when rich people when they had the experiment, when they do the experiment, rich people when they do it, they don't do it that way. They do it
Did they
the
pick you
regular way, the
randomly,
right
or
way.
was it because you were gonna die and so might as well experimenting on him? Or
No, they wanted me to come out so I could do something like heal people later.
interesting because I think some people they get experimented on for random things like almost like a cadaver. It's like, well, since we
Yeah,
got the cadaver, let's see if we could bring people back to life, and
I'm
then
like
that guy would be.
I'm like a guinea pig. I was used as a
I was a
guinea
guinea
pig.
pig too, but by accident, by
Yeah,
pure fact, by pure chance, because I
right.
was a preemie.
Mhm.
So they experimented on me with drugs that would see like, can we keep this fetus alive artificially?
Right.
Because I was born super early,
Mhm.
so I could easily just died, but they experimented on me because I was about to die. I was dead. I was born super early and like transparent skin and dead, like not breathing. So boom, perfect experiment. Might work, might not, but if it don't work, they didn't lose nothing. I was about
Right.
to die anyways.
Right.
So
They had to keep
whatever
me.
they did.
They needed my blood type. Okay, I want to say it like this. They needed my blood type because they knew that it healed people.
It saved my life, bro.
AB positive, AB negative blood type. That's a healing blood type, and it's rare. It's
So did the
rarest in the
experiment
world.
boost you up? Did it power you?
Yeah, it empowers me, but I can't. But my blood type is so rare that I can't be around a lot of people. That when I'm around a lot of people,
You think so?
it
That
tires
sounds
me out.
pessimistic to me.
It tires
I
me
think that
out.
maybe
It wears me
really.
out.
See, that don't make sense to me. That rate, I don't see how having. If anything, you would just feed on their energy
I
versus letting them. That could be a mental thing.
it drains me. Like being around other people, like being
I don't
around
know how
other
you would
people's
probably be breathing in your
energy.
blood for that. Could that just
It
be a
drains the hell out of
psychological
me.
issue?
I got to be around my own. See, I'm able to receive blood. I'm able to what is it? Uh, I'm able to give blood to everybody, but I can't receive blood from everybody. I'm like a
Well,
vampire.
I think that
I'm like a
you really think
vampire.
that affects your interactions on a social level.
On a social level, I can't be around people because they tire
That's
me out.
interesting as hell. That's almost a curse then, because if that's
Yeah,
the
it's a
case,
curse. I get around people. If I'm in the stadium, if I'm in the stadium full of people, it'll get me so tired. I'll be knocked out for a week. I'll be
man,
asleep
I
for a week.
really
It's
don't know
like
how
it'll
for
drain me
sure
that
if I
much.
am like that or not.
Huh?
But I try to not let myself get weak in any situation.
Right.
That's really my thing. So
It's
I
not
don't
getting weak.
notice it.
It's not getting weak. It's building. It builds
Drained.
up.
I mean drained.
I
Like
build
weak.
up
I don't want to
immunity.
mean weak as
I
far as
build up.
not muscular. I mean just weakened in a
Right.
weakened state versus
Right.
an apex state.
I'm building up
So, but no,
immunity.
for sure, I didn't mean weak as frail. I didn't mean like you're weak.
No,
I
no,
mean
no,
like
no. I know what you meant. What I'm saying is that it's
that
not
sounds
a
like.
weak. It's not a weak. It's not a weak
Can you
like
imagine
that.
if you were the guy that went around a stadium of people and got boosted? Then that seems more optimal to
No,
a weak guy.
no. It's just because I'm not used to being around a lot of people. I'm not. I don't have immunities to that yet. I can't.
I
I
love it.
just
I
can't.
actually like the concept of feeding energies though,
Yeah.
because I always like imagined if people did have life essence energy and auras or what have you,
Right.
and if there were some people who learned how to feed on it versus get fed on, I always wanted to be like a weird goth guy in the room or something like that, where it's I have the power to suck way more energy than anybody that's
I
around
do.
me. So I would be like the really weird guy because I would rather be the person who
That's
is an
me.
energy controller
That's
than an
me.
energy. Yes, exactly. If you're that, have you thought of concepts? Am I saying a concept
Yeah.
that you
Yeah. You're
ran
saying it
into?
right. You're saying it right. That's why I get tired out because it's so many people like feeding off of like I could absorb everybody's energy.
I'm really good. I figured out a thing where I've set like a muscle memory thing for myself, where when I feel that happening, instead of it sucking me, the energy, it actually, I have a really good, like I'm a man of mirrors. I reflect energy really good.
Some
So
people
they
do.
get their energy back and my energy is steady building on my
Right.
own. But that has nothing to do with my ability to take the energy. This is me just not wanting, I put like a force field of mirrors around me, my energy. And
You reflect it.
I am so aware of that. Everything's not going to hit me in a way like it's unaffecting to me. That I just by like this demeanor, this stance, the breath work. Like I have a thing where it's like so no matter what situation, my energy is
It depends on
under
your
my
blood.
control.
It depends on your blood type. It depends on your blood type. Like if you
I
get.
don't know if I have a good blood type, but I love my blood
Mm-hmm.
because I cut my hand open not too long ago, and instead of my hand just getting infected and me losing my finger and doing this, my blood sealed my body back together.
You might have the A. You might have the A type blood type also. Everybody that was tested. Everybody that was tested with the A blood type. That's all I got. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So you
Hello.
probably
Dan.
A type.
Hello.
You probably hello.
Hello.
Let me tell you what happened. Real quick. So on New Year's of this year, so like 2.5 months ago, right after the fireworks at midnight, boop boop pew, Happy New Year. I caught my hand. I was jumping over this fence and I lost balance on the very top of the fence. And on the way down, my finger got pinned on top of the fence.
Wow.
And slashed open and gutted my whole hand and just get like palpitating blood squirts out of my finger. But that was the only injury I took. So luckily, I didn't have really I had to put all my attention on that, which was pretty cool for the memory because it wasn't like I was too distracted, but I was like, I just fucked myself up, shit. And I didn't want to have to like go to the hospital or nothing, but I was like, dude, I might have to, but I tourniqueted my arm really tight. Like I had this plastic bag and I just tourniqueted the fuck out my arm. I was like, I'm going to stop the bleeding. And then I looked at my hand and the blood, once my body realized that I had taken more than just a little shallow bleeding, like I actually went all the way down to the bone. My body actually went into a healing phase that I was unfamiliar with because that level of intensity, it doesn't happen every day. So you're not used to that process, but it was quite.
You're A type blood type then.
My body's blood, when I looked at my hand, instead of the blood being like watery and very fluid, it turned into a spider web consistency.
Yeah,
the blood particles. And that shit, I was physically watching the blood with web strands sticking itself together, like sealing my hand back closed. And I was like, which it still was really hurt, but like that was just its automatic response. Instead of just getting porous and bleeding out, it started sealing. But then my hand's been healing for 2.5 months, but I didn't get infected or nothing. I didn't go get stitches or nothing.
Now you
And
have
the
you
skin's
have
sealed now, but it's still.
you have the A. You probably had the A antigen blood type.
I think I've seen
Or
my blood type one time, and I don't think I have a rare one.
yeah,
I think I found out.
you have it. Because that's what I do. I heal the same way.
I think I was experimented on though because of the premature thing.
Yeah.
Me being born premature, and then I didn't leave the hospital for the first 2 months of my life.
Everybody after me was experimented on. That's all I can tell you.
So mine was a baby experiment. They put something in me as a baby. Was yours older than that?
Right. Everybody that after me was an experiment. Everybody that has the A, that they're experimented with.
So you got yours because you earned yours.
Mine came from my family. My family had the healing.
Mine came by luck.
If
I would have been born on time, I wouldn't have been experimented.
Right.
So we both got some word, but it's interesting. At least I got it, baby.
Yeah, you got it. You got the same healing properties I do. And it's like,
if I wouldn't have made it, I easily could have died as a baby. I was like, woo, because even though I was premature, I don't have any birth defects and shit like this.
I had a birth defect. I had a birth defect. I had a what is that? The cleft palate.
What is that? Like your lip was sucked in?
It was with my mouth. My mouth. I was born with the cleft palate.
I've seen those. I used to see those commercials on TV for the kids.
But I was a cute baby. But I had the operation. My dad was in the service, so he got the operation for me. I got the operation.
Oh, really? So that's nice. You had the military insurance.
Yeah, right. So I got the operation. So
were you in the military?
Yeah, I was in the military. Yeah, I was in the National Guard.
In Taiwan?
No, here. I was in the National Guard here. So I served my country.
That's crazy. Was that like? Did you feel like you were so proud American, like happy to be here that you felt like you had to serve?
No, I like that. My dad was in the military. My dad was a 25-year-old veteran. He stayed in the service for 25 years. So
in the United States service?
Yeah. He went around. My adopted dad. He adopted me and my sister.
Well, let me just tell you, thank you for your service, and that's fascinating.
Yeah, he adopted me and my sister. My sister came from Philippines, and I came from Taiwan. So he got to travel around.
Taiwan, baby.
Yeah.
Taiwan. We'll keep the spirit of Taiwan alive. We're not going to let China erase them. But tell me about that. So tell me about the military thing. Do you feel like the blood type and coming from the 13th family?
They kept me out of war. They kept me out of war for some reason. I never went to war. I wanted to go, but every time the war came up, something happened to where I didn't go. I got lucky. I didn't go to war. I wanted.
You still went to boot camp and
I went to boot camp and all that stuff, but I wanted to go. I was in 1990 when the first Death Storm was, and I didn't. As soon as I tried to go in, the war was over.
It's probably better. It's probably for the best.
It was probably for the best of me. But every time a conflict came up, I was in jail or something else happened.
It's always a tough thing. The concept of war. I respect soldiers to the fullest, but when you take a step back and look at wars in history and modern contemporary wars, but from an outside view, it's really they're sending the young guys to die for old man's feuds. It's like
over women and money.
And power.
Women, money, and power. A lot of wars were fought over women.
I never served, but I would have. I really wanted to go and train and serve. I wouldn't mind doing it, but as time went on, I've just been more of an outside adventurer and been more of an archaeologist of the urban and contemporary lifestyles. And I'm an artist and do this, and I have my podcast here. So I'm almost like a military of the street mind warriors, the freedom fighters, if you will. But I always respect the military and all that. But it's
right.
I really
I came up.
I've heard some horror stories and I've heard some good things and bad things. It's really
Well, I came up in a
It's
good
like crazy.
I came up in a good family. I went to I went to private school when I was growing up. I had a chance to go to private school or regular school. My parents paid for our education, right? So
So which one did you go to?
I went to a private school first. I went to a private school. I didn't like it, so I went back to public school.
Was it
I
a
was like, it
religious
was
private
too
school?
strict. It was too strict for me to go to the private school that I went to.
Was it religious?
Yeah, it was religious. It was like a Baptist academy, and
Baptist. I've been in Baptist churches.
it was real strict. So I
Yeah.
got out of it. So I went back to public schools, and my brothers they went to Tri City Christian Academy. They went to private school. I didn't like it, and my parents were paying for a school. I was like not cutting the grades and everything, you know. So
How did you like public school compare?
it was 2 grades. It's 2 grades higher. What you learn in public
Did you
school.
have a good time? Did you like hanging out with normies?
When I went back to private school, I liked it back with my friends. That's who I knew. The private school, it was like too bougie.
Oh, they had better people, but just fucked the
Just bougie, yeah, just bougie people, just bougie people. That's all.
Like as far as the administration goes, but the kids your age were cool.
Yeah, they were cool. It was cool. I mean, it was cool, but the teachers were just strict.
Right. Oh, man, that's yeah.
You get in trouble. You get hit on the hand with the ruler. You know what I mean.
Oh my gosh, you telling me you can't take a little ruler under the hand?
I'm just saying that's how they, or a paddle. They give you a paddle. When I was growing up,
I mean, I can't really talk shit because I don't know how that feels, but I mean, I know as far abuse, but not in school. I never really was abused too hard. I did have a music teacher though that was being rough with me, man, which is pretty messed up if you think about it. In middle school,
Yeah.
she was this lady, and she was like grabbing me by the armpit and like arm, the shoulder, and like squeezing where you know the nerve's gonna be there and hurt, and like to pull me around and shit like this. And it's like that's fucked up.
My mom could pinch the hell out of you. Like if you did something wrong, she just gave you a pinch, and that hurt.
So I had a lady do that.
Hurt.
That's as far as it went. I never got paddled or nothing at school.
I got like that would hurt. That would hurt. You get paddled at school, then you go home and you get paddled again.
Is that the main reason you left, because of the physical abuse?
No, I left because I didn't like the I wasn't really doing the grades as good. You know, they're paying for my school, man. And I was like getting like D's and a D average. But then I went back to public school. I got better grades, but I didn't really start doing good in school till like last year. I went to school last year to college. I was getting A's and B's in college.
Like online college? Or?
Yeah, online college. Yeah, online college. I went to
for a degree or certificate?
Yeah, I went to Colorado Technical University, but I dropped out. I dropped out because of the COVID situation. I dropped out because of the COVID situation. But I went to the.
Oh man, I'm a college dropout as well, so I feel you there.
But but I had A's and B's. When I was going there, I had A's and B's.
What were you taking, if you don't mind me asking? Business?
Yeah, my family. I came from a family of bankers.
So did you think I was a bullshit thing once you started doing it? Was it actually bullshit or?
No, it was a lot of the stuff was easy, but just some of the some math I didn't get. I got a lot of the math, but there's some parts of math that I didn't agree with.
Would you go back to college ever again?
Yeah, I mean, no, because I'm so up in years. I'm so late in years that if it wouldn't be how you say. It would be.
So that was like you just wanted to kind of get back into it and see how it went.
I wanted to. Oh yeah, that's all I wanted to do was see how I would do, and I did pretty good. I went halfway through. I went through 1 year of it, and I got A's and B's.
I think about doing that sometimes, getting a certificate or a degree in something, a technical college or what have you. Mm-hmm. I would love to do that.
I'm 50 years old. I mean, I'm 50 years old.
I think it's always nice to have some. That's for gravitas.
I'm 50 years old. What can I do at 50 years old after I?
Well, if you're Mr. Blood Positive, AB Positive, and you're Mr. Chosen One, that means you're probably spry as a 20-year-old.
Right. I'm supposed to be able to live a long time too. I live with a lot of people already that I know. They died from COVID.
Oh yeah, man, I don't want to get I was listening to a podcast on Joe Rogan
Uh-huh.
the other day, like 2 weeks ago, on the train ride to Wisconsin, and he was talking to this guy named Ted Nugent. You ever heard of Ted Nugent?
Yeah, Ted Nugent, yeah.
Well, man, this guy is like way up there in age, like 80 something
Yeah,
or something
he's
like this.
yeah.
And he is rocking.
Rock and roll,
he
yeah.
is an archer. He'll go bow hunting every day of his life. He goes and kills an animal. He bow hunts, and like this man is 80 something and rocking and rolling, sharp as a tack.
Well, look at who's that karate guy? That's almost 80 years old and he works out every day. The one that used to fight with Bruce Lee.
Are you talking about Chuck Norris?
Yeah, Chuck Norris. Look at him.
Yeah, Chuck Norris is a monster.
He's a monster. He's like 80 years old.
I heard Chuck Norris died though. I heard we lost Chuck Norris.
Did we?
I believe so, man. I think he died, man.
He was up in age. I know
Rest in
that.
peace. I should go fact check that real quick.
Yeah, I know that he was up in age, but I'm just saying that. Look at how strong.
Yeah, I'm checking it real quick. I'm gonna check it, so
yeah.
stall and talk real quick while I look it up.
It'd be amazed at so many people that's still alive.
I'm looking it up right now.
Because they would have good health insurance and they took care of themselves. They had the money to be able to take care
No,
of
he's not dead yet.
Huh?
He's 81 years old. He is born March 10, 1940. 81, he's born in Ryan, Oklahoma.
My dad's 81.
He's 5'10".
My dad's 81. He's in good shape. He rides his bike and.
Yes, Chuck Norris is 5'10". That's not very tall. That's awesome.
He's about the same size as Bruce Lee almost.
And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kids.
Wow. Yeah. And the way he does that naughty track, the way he does that,
he has 8 kids.
The way he does that exercise thing, he makes it look easy.
Yes, he's a handsome man for sure.
Yeah, see, that's what I want to be.
Yeah,
that's what I want to be like. But the last year.
So if those guys are doing that, I mean, shit. Like at least give yourself 10 more years. I'm not saying you have to be 80 and do all that, but at least if those guys are going that hard, you could at least give yourself a good little.
I'm killing myself with the drugs and everything. To be honest.
You're still doing drugs though?
Yeah.
Still going hard?
I'm doing drugs and I'm killing myself with it.
Yeah, man, it's rough, man. Some people have that longevity though. Some people really do. But let's say that does shorten your life a little bit. That at least 50 is awesome then if you think about that. Like, because you could have probably been. Some people die in like 20s, 1 years old, 18.
I died 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I died.
So the 50, man, that's more. That's like you playing on that tightrope for a long time. Like you can't really hate that.
I'm on borrowed time right now.
That's how I feel too. I thought every day's a bonus, man. Yeah. And I'm only 30, so I didn't expect to make it to 30. I bet you didn't expect to make it to 50.
I got friends right now that died because of COVID. They didn't have to die, but they died.
Man, I'm gonna ask you a hard question here, but do you feel like your body is too fucked up now because of that, or do you feel like you still have the youthfulness, or did the longevity of the chemical bliss that really take its toll?
The drug kept me as strong as I am. I could live probably longer than I do, but I do. I guess God wanted me to do. God wanted me to experience that. That's something God wanted me to.
Because man, that's one thing I wonder if I could truly let go. Because I've just stopped doing drugs and the thing is, my body wonders if I shouldn't have done it. Like, why are you letting go of something you love so much? Mm-hmm. But if it's healthier not to do them in the long run, that's a positive thing about not doing
people
it.
Not to do it, but me myself, it's something that I had to experience. It's like
yeah. Well, man, it's kind of funny. Some people actually can use it and benefit from it. And I want to experiment and over time and see if I can do a balance of some drugs. And my goal was to trip acid 12 times a year. In a perfect world, that it could be a businessman, successful, and once a month drop. Once a month, every 30 days, drop a drop of acid. That's my dream. And then maintain this super mindset with the third eye open and everything. Mm-hmm. And even with let's say speed and stuff like this, I just went through a couple years of going crazy, and I just moved away from LA 2 weeks ago. Well, right before I moved away, so I would say probably 3 weeks ago, I was smoking speed at this park, and this guy, and I was hiding by these dumpsters and smoking. And I know I'm telling you a pretty crazy personal story, but I don't really give a fuck. And this guy he went by there and he seen me and he was like, older, probably 50, but looked really, like his body looked pretty tough. And he seen me, and I put my I covered it up with my hands, and I was literally hitting it when he looked, and I put it away and everything. And he's like, "What are you doing, smoking?"
Well, it's
And
not.
but he wasn't being.
It's not a sin to smoke or do none of that.
No, but let me tell you though, to finish it though, like wasn't like mad at all. Like I didn't know, so I always have to act like, oh, I was trying to hide it, just as like a gesture of like, since I am in public.
Right.
But really, it's like fuck. And well, he was like, you know what he says? Randomly, he's like, he looks at me and he goes, "It's all right. Smoking makes you live longer." Mm-hmm. And then he walked away.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
So I thought that was really positive. Like, it made me feel like I rolled off away from there, really happy.
I guess.
Because to some people.
I guess
some people it actually does keep them young.
Yeah, it made me live as long as I have so far.
Yeah, so might as well not stop, right? But
well.
I think taking breaks every once in a while, tolerance breaks, is definitely.
I don't overdo it like everybody else do.
Yeah, so that's my problem. I could definitely start overdoing it.
Yeah,
I'm taking a little break right now.
I do it in increments. I could go without it for like 3 or 4 hours. I don't have to go to it to the next day.
Well, thank you for sharing everything too. Those are pretty personal topics, but I love getting into it.
I'm talking about it because people have to understand that everything in life, you have to live life to its fullest. If you can live life to its fullest, that's you just got to have.
Eric Green, I just want to take a moment again. I'm not saying we're done talking, but we've been talking for like an hour, and I've had a blast talking with you and going back and forth here. Eric Green, and this is Rico Roxx Social Suicide Podcast, episode 34. But so thank you, man, for coming on and hashing it out today. It's been an honor.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure. For having me on.
Now I'm starting to get to know you. I've seen you come in here a few times into this and hang out.
I joke around. I just joke around and have fun.
But yeah, I remember that one time that I was playing music and we were talking like some really funny, like crazy nonsense. Like one of the first times you came in and I was playing that music, and I don't know if you remember that. It wasn't too long ago. And we were talking crazy stuff, like I don't know, like the craziest of shit. We were typing like it was like role playing. Dude, we were saying the craziest shit ever, and I believe that was you because that the profile picture.
Right. Yeah.
But that shit did, like, it was so awesome. It was so funny that you came in there just acting a damn psychopath, but then I was just like being a psycho too that day.
Right.
It was so funny.
I was just trying to get a reaction from people. That's all.
Man, and then you ended up chilling for a long time because I was really going crazy that day because I knew I was going to be quitting soon and moving away. Like I'm sitting in my new house now, but I knew I was you caught me in one of my last days there, so I was just getting fucked.
Oh, I'm glad I made your day that day.
Dude, that shit was so silly. And then Starspeed Mud Rabbit, aka Chief Thunderlung, was there. And it was a good time, man. I'm glad that I actually now had a conversation with you that wasn't just that psychopathic mumbling and rambling and just being silly. Like this now, we actually have had an official man-to-man.
Mm-hmm. Right. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving me that chance.
Cause now we're buddies. Now we're more than just two. Now it's like I got Eric Green on the side of the team now, the Rico Roxx team. So follow my show, nigga.
Yeah, I feel that way with you and Chief. You know, you and the other guy. I feel that connection with us.
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out real quick to Coltrane, Mike from Tampa Bay. What's his name? Kirk. Mm-hmm. Something Kirk. Eric Kirk. Right. Shout out to everybody on Podbean. Podbean.com.
Even Michael Steele. Even the way he acts, I kind of with him.
Okay. Hey, big shout out to Herbalist. Yeah. Big shout out to Caps. Big shout out to who else I got? We got Milk Dog too. Fuck it, we throw Milk Dog. Shout out to everybody on Podbean.
Oh wow.
What's happening, Rico? How's it going?
Shout out to the dude Sean.
What you up to, bro?
Shout out to everybody. What up, Herbalist? The next person we have on has the biggest dick that side of the Mississippi. Welcome, Herbalist.
What's happening, bro? Where you up? Where are you now?
Guilty dog.
I'm in Wisconsin, bro. I'm gonna end this call pretty soon here, but I just got really talking to Eric Green. Eric Green, anything you want to talk about before we cut this one? Okay. Any last topics?
Just love y'all guys, and I thank y'all for accepting me as part of the family.
Yeah,
I
keep
feel
coming
like
back.
I've accepted.
Don't be
I
a
feel
stranger,
like I've
motherfucker.
accepted someone. Thank you.
So thank you everybody for
I've been
checking out
doing.
Rico Roxx Suicide Podcast episode 34. We're gonna get on out of here. So free your mind, free your mind, free your
Like
mind.
Rico, everybody else, thank y'all for listening.